Hello, I am Burt Green, this is the Burt Locker, this is the Casuals Guide to UFC 286. If you're new to this, basically all I do here is I go through the entire fight card. That's right, the entire fight card. Early prelims, and main card. A little bit of information on every fighter, every fight, how I think it might go. Now, bear in mind, some of the fighters I don't know much about, so sometimes I'll bet against somebody for having a shit haircut. So please, do not base your own bets on all of this, because sometimes I don't know them that well, so I have to make a decision on the information that I've got, and sometimes I only have their haircuts. So it's going to be fast, funny, informative, it's light-hearted, it's designed to be a bit of a laugh, but also to give you some information on some of the less-known fighters on this card so that you get the most out of the pay-per-view that you're buying on Saturday. So let's get cracking. Juliana Miller versus Veronica Mercado kicks off the early prelims. Now you've got, these are the 125-pound women's. You've got 5'7", playing 5'4", with a 2-inch reach for Miller. Now Miller was on Tough Season 30. She lost in the final. She's got good submissions. Her record isn't bad. Now out of 5 fights for Mercado, she's only won 1. That's not good at all. So Miller should win this one. She's bigger. She's got the reach. And going purely on records, her opponent's record is terrible. For that reason, I will go with Miller on that one. Jai Herbert, 12-4, taking on Lodovit Klein from Slovakia, 19-4, in 155-pound lightweight division. 6'1", plays 5'7", 4.5-inch reach for Herbert. Now, Jai Herbert is a good kickboxer, former Cage Warriors lightweight champ. He's had ups and downs in the UFC. He's had 5 appearances. He's only won 2. Grapplers are the ones that he tends to have the most issues with. Now, Klein is a little bit of a beast. He's a very good grappler. He's decent on the feet as well. He beat Mason Jones. Now, I rate Mason Jones. He was the featherweight and lightweight champion in Cage Warriors at the same time. Lad from Wales. He's got like 5 different black belts. He's really good. So the fact that he's got a win over Mason Jones is quite impressive. I would love to see Jai Herbert win this one, but I think Klein takes it. I think he's going to take the path of least resistance. I think he's probably going to wrestle, grapple, then sub. That's what I think. Joanna Wood, formerly Calderwood, 15-8, taking on Luana Carolina from Brazil, 125-pound women's division again. 5'6", play 5'6". The reach is exactly the same. Now, Wood, formerly Calderwood, she got married, stuck a Calder at the start of her last name. It confuses the hell out of me. Anyway, Joanne Calderwood and Joanne Wood are the same person, just FYI. Very good Muay Thai. Her leg kicks are really dangerous. She's really fun to watch, actually. She tends to get near the top and then she kind of bottles it. I'm hoping that she can make a good run at the belt this time. Carolina, she got back elbowed by Meatball Molly. She beat Lupina Godinez, though, which is pretty good. She's a blue belt in BJJ. For me, I think that Wood should be able to keep this standing. Leg kicks, keep it standing. Decision for me for Calderwood, hopefully. Jake Hadley taking on Malcolm Gordon in the 125-pound. That's the flyweight division. 5'7", plays 5'7", 1-inch reach for Gordon. Now, Hadley is the former Cage Warriors flyweight champion, rather. He's quite large for 125 pounds. That's where he often found some of his advantages. He's got solid wrestling. He's got very good chokes. Now, Gordon is also huge for 125 pounds. I do not know how he gets down to 125 pounds. Look at the state of him. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Now this one should be interesting. That Hadley likes to grapple and he likes the submission, but Gordon's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself. He's going to be hard to submit, but he has lost that way before. So Gordon might be a tough test for Hadley here, but as also he's a big dude, I just don't know who gets the better of this one. Look, Hadley normally has the size advantage. He doesn't in this one. Gordon looks like a bit of a beast. He's got that black belt himself. I'm going to go with a Gordon decision here, but I will be rooting for Hadley in a lot of ways, just because, he's the Brit against the Canadian. What can I say? Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Dusko Todorovic. Now, 6'2", plays 6'1", not sure on the reach. Christian Duncan is putting his 7-0 undefeated record. He was the recent middleweight champion in Cage Warriors. He's got great kickboxing, really great kickboxing. He hasn't really been tested against a wrestler yet, which is why I was quite upset that his last fight against Jesse Taylor in Cage Warriors got called off, because I'd have liked to have seen how he stood up against that relentless wrestling style. Todorovic is a decent, well-rounded guy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, couple of good wins. He beat Jordan Wright last time out in October. Now, my concern for Duncan here is that there is a clear path of least resistance when it comes to Christian Duncan, and that is to grapple. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt for Todorovic probably means that Duncan is getting choked out in this one, as much as I would love to see it go the other way. Again, this is another one where I will be supporting Christian Leroy Duncan. Nothing would make me happier than to see him win, but I do see a submission for Todorovic in this one. Lerone Murphy taking on Gabriel Santos. He got 5'9", playing 5'9". Lerone Murphy is undefeated. He's got very good striking. He got a knee last time out. It was absolutely lovely. Now, Santos is the undefeated Brazilian. He's got decent submissions. Murphy looks too strong. He's going to overwhelm Santos in this one. I see him getting the knockout, actually. I think he's really good as Leroy Murphy. So, yeah, look out for that one. Good fun fight, that. So, prelims, you've got Mohamed Makayev against Jafel Filho. So, this is the 125-pound flyweight division. Again, 5'7", plays 5'7". No idea on the reach. Makayev is a phenom, really. He's one of these new age grapplers. 2019 Golden Freestyle Wrestling, ADCC UK, three UFC fights, 2 submissions. He's a very high level wrestler, relentless style. He should get the submission in this one for me, putting his undefeated record on the line. I've got a lot of good things to say about Mohamed Makayev. He is really one to keep an eye on, representing England, well, the UK, whatever. Anyway, Sam Patterson taking on Yanel Ashmush in 155-pound lightweight division, both debuting in the UFC, so no idea on the height or reach really, so it should be interesting. Patterson's 10-1. Damn. Oh shit, yeah, he's 6'4". I forgot about that. When I actually looked into his details, he's actually 6'4". 6'4" at lightweight, that's ridiculous. How do you get down to, if that's correct, how do you get down to lightweight? That is absolutely ridiculous. That should not be allowed. He's got good submissions. I mean, he controls the back well, clearly, because he's got a few rear naked chokes. But hey, look, if you're 6'4" at lightweight, then you bloody should be able to control the back as well. Jesus Christ. So then you've got the Israeli. He's got Ashmos. He's the Red Fox, apparently. 6-0. He's got 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's only 5'10". So look, for me, look, if the 6'4" thing is true, Patterson should win this one. He should use his reach, get the takedown, get the body lock with his long legs, because he's 6'4" at lightweight, and he should find the rear naked choke that way. Then you've got Chris Duncan, 9-1, taking on Omar Morales from Venezuela in the 155-pound lightweight division. 5'10", plays 5'11", 1.5-inch reach for Morales. Now, Duncan says he's 29, but I don't know, man. He looks 40 to me. He's from Scotland, so maybe he drinks a lot and he sleeps on his face. Who knows? He makes his opponents sleep on their face, though, because he gets knockouts most of the time. He's got great hands, this kid. 7 knockouts on his record. Morales is the Venezuelan. He's 37 apparently, but he looks 10 years younger than Duncan, so I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's the diet in South America. He's got a salty UFC record, though. He tends to get finished quite a lot, which is probably going to be a problem against Duncan. Duncan should get the knockout here. He should use all the energy from those deep fried Mars bars that probably make up most of his diet and get the knockout on Saturday night. And you've got Jack Shaw against Makwan Amirkhani. Now, this is going to be an interesting one, because 5'8", plays 5'10". You've got a 1-inch reach for Amirkhani. Now, it's UK versus Iraq. Blair must have been the matchmaker in this one. So you've got Shaw. He was undefeated until he ran into Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone is a big dude, though. He was just too big and too physical for him. He's well-rounded. He's very well-rounded. He's very talented. He's one of the most talented guys coming from the UK. He fights out of Wales. He's talented in every area. The only time he comes unstuck is when he fights somebody who's too big and too physical for him. The problem is, I think he's going up to 145 now. He fought at bantamweight for the longest time. I don't know if he looks big enough for 145, honestly. Some of those guys are beasts up there. Amirkhani is one of them, honestly. Amirkhani, he's quite big for 145. He's a big dude. He's got excellent grappling. It's no secret what he's going to try and do. He's got 17 wins. 12 of those are by submission. His submission wrestling is really, really high level. Look, now I want Shaw to win this because I just rate him, but my concern here is that Amirkhani's too big and too physical, and if it gets into the grappling exchanges, Amirkhani's going to have his way with him. I think that Amirkhani might get the submission in that one, as much as it pains me to say it, because again, my heart will be with Shaw all the way, because I just think he's, number one, he's very talented, number two, he just seems like a nice guy. Anyway, Main card, Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze kick off the main card in the middleweight division. 6 foot plays 6'2" with a 2-inch reach for Dolidze. And this is Italy versus Georgia, by the way, if you're looking at the international scene. So Vettori, he's the Italian bull. He's got a big head. He's hard to hurt, but he hasn't got the best fight IQ in the world. He's not the brightest in terms of fighting. He can scrap, right? But he wrestles very well. He's got very good wrestling, but when he falls behind on the scorecards, he tends to give up on himself. We've seen it a few times now, and it's a problem. That's a mentality thing. It just is. And now Dolidze, he's a killer. He's an ice cold killer. Look at the state of him. He could literally be the assassin in any straight to prime movie about an assassin. Like he's an absolute killer. He's got great grappling as well. Like the thing is, right? We know Dolidze through his striking. His striking is really good. His knees are really solid. He mixes up the strikes really, really well. His kickboxing's absolutely savage. He hurts people. But actually, his grappling is deceptively good. He got gold in 2016 ADCC Grappling Worlds. That means that he's a really solid grappler in his own right. So if Vettori tries to take it down, he may not have that all his own way. For me, Dolidze has got more ways to win this. Historically, Vettori's going to have to get this to the ground and try for the submission or the decision. He doesn't have that punch knockout power to really threaten too much on the feet. For me, Dolidze is going to be just a little bit a level above Vettori. I think this is Dolidze's time. I think he gets the knockout in this one. Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill in the women's flyweights, 125 pounds, 5'4", plays 5'6" with a 5-inch reach for O'Neill. Maia, the Brazilian, is no relation to Damon from what I can see. She was a former boxer, 3-0 in boxing. She's got 30 MMA fights, loads of experience. She's trained at Shooter Box since 2003. She's got 1,000-yard stare because she has seen it all in MMA. BJJ black belt, Muay Thai killer. She might be an issue, although not based on her record, because her record's a little bit salty. O'Neill, Scottish born. I thought she was Irish for sure, but only because of the O'Neill's pub brand. But anyway, undefeated. She's lived in Australia since she was like 10. Not that makes any difference. She's from the Tiger Muay Thai guys, so she can bang on the feet. I don't know what she's like on the ground. I think that just based on the records, I think that O'Neill's probably getting the win here. Maia, she loves losing decisions, so I think it'll be a decision. Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena. You have got 5'11", playing 6 foot, 1/2-inch reach for Barberena. Gunnar is a Viking with elite level grappling. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt is under Renzo Gracie, so you know he is legitimate. He silvered in the Worlds in 2009. He's got 12 submissions out of 18 wins. You know what he's trying to do. But Barberena, he's a brawler. He's fun to watch, but he is a brawler. He burst onto the scene, beating the Sage Northcutt hype train. He's got knockouts over both Jake and Joe Ellenberger. I don't know if they're related, but either way, honestly, this should be an easy win for Gunnar. He's going to find the takedown. Once there, Barberena's going to have nothing for him, I don't think. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. 5'11", plays 5'8", 1.5-inch for Fiziev. Gaethje is described by Rogan as the most violent man in the most violent sport. Win or lose, his fights are fantastic. He's got great striking, hits really hard. His low kicks are an absolute savage. His wrestling's really good, but he doesn't tend to use it that much. Fiziev is an elite level kickboxer, former police officer from Kyrgyzstan. His Muay Thai record's 29-4. His kickboxing is on such a high level. Go and have a look at his Matrix dodge. Type that in, Rafael Fiziev Matrix dodge. You'll find it. It's incredible. Defensively, he's brilliant. For me, I like Fiziev here. Don't get me wrong. I think Gaethje can knock out anybody on any given night, but goddamn, I think Fiziev is just too polished and too refined. I think he's going to take this fight over, and I think if Gaethje plans to just stand with him, he's going to find out. Edwards versus Usman. You have got 6 foot, playing 6 foot, a 2-inch reach for Usman, but the leg reach is in favour of Leon. That's important, especially considering that head kick. Edwards, Jamaican born, lives in Birmingham. Great kickboxer. His striking's really slick. If he can nullify the takedown, he's a problem for anybody. Kamaru Usman, Nigerian born, in case you didn't know that, because he never mentions it, does he? I think he's a great wrestler. He's got some effective striking, but mostly due to his wrestling kind of confusing people into dropping their hands and whatnot. For me, I just think that Kamaru Usman, he's a bit of an idiot in some ways, because he thinks that he's going to have the support of the UK crowd because apparently the UK is half African. His words, not mine. For me, this one's interesting. If Leon Edwards can stop from getting fatigued, he can keep this on the feet, he can if he keeps it striking, he's a problem for Kamaru Usman. Usman could very well take it over. But I'm rolling the dice on Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards to get the knockout. That is my pick. And those are all of the fights for UFC 286. I'll do some deep dives later on. If you enjoyed this content, hit subscribe. Until next time, keep the odds long and the bets terrible.